It's been a long time, but I can't wait to get into the new season. There's lots to speak about. A lot has happened since I last recorded a YouTube video. Now, obviously, Blues won the league, 111 points, set a world record. What a brilliant season it was. The cherry on top would have been a win at Wembley, but we lost that game, unfortunately. But brilliant season nonetheless. We've came up, we've spent some money on the transfers you can see on screen, and it's all looking pretty good. You know, we're up to joint third favourite to get promoted with Sheffield United, and only Ipswich and Southampton ahead of us. Everything's looking good, the expectation is on us, but a lot of fans are saying the similar things about Blues, and it's that they're one to watch this season. So it's great that we've got all that. A little bit about me, obviously we kept winning every week. I was only doing Birmingham City prediction videos, and it was getting a little bit unenjoyable from a recording perspective, just because I was just guessing us to win every week, and it was pretty much happening, and there wasn't much else to it. You know, the football, although we were good, it was difficult to watch at times because everyone was just set up exactly the same against us. There's nothing really enjoyable to speak about, but this season it will be different. I'm dropping Premier League games completely because I don't have time to do all of that. I've been trying to rejig a few things, obviously been very busy myself. You know, I want to spend time with my family, I want to do other things, but this is something I'm passionate about. It's just finding the time, and again, I know if you want to do this sort of thing full time, you've got to find the time to do it. But it's not something I'm looking to go into full time. It's just something I enjoy speaking about. So, without further ado, let's get into these transfers, and there's some brilliant ones here. So, we'll start off with a couple of loan transfers that we've brought in. So, James Beadle in goal. He had a brilliant tournament with the England under-21s who have just won the Euros. And yeah, although Sheffield Wednesday fans seem to not rate him because he was poor last season, he didn't really have much help. There wasn't a great defence in front of him. One thing I did notice from the Euros is that even if he makes a save, he tends to push it back out into somewhere dangerous, which I'm not a big fan of. And preferably, out of the two of them, I would like to start with Allsop, but I don't think that's going to happen because James Beadle could have gone to any bottom half championship team and played every game for them. Why would Brighton send him on loan to us unless there was a guarantee that he's going to start X amount of games? So I think he will be our starting keeper. A little bit uninspiring, especially when there's goalkeepers that have got good CVs and kind of already made. Like, you got Mark Travers, who we were linked with, who looks like a very good goalkeeper for this division, but instead we've elected for a very young goalkeeper. If it was permanent, it would make more sense to me because you play Allsop, brilliant with distribution. James Beadle's his understudy for a season or two, and then Beadle can take the reins from Allsop after, like I say, a year or two. But the loan is a bit confusing, but it just makes me think Beadle is going to start because otherwise it's a useless loan for Brighton and it's a year wasted. The other loan signing, Tommy Doyle from Wolves. Brilliant player for this level. Was promoted a couple of seasons ago anyway with Sheffield United, and he's spent a bit of time with Premier League football at Wolves. You know, he's played a few games. He obviously came from Man City. And really, this is a player that should be playing for a lower Premier League team. I'm surprised he wasn't given a fair crack at the whip by Wolves. But, you know, for Leeds, Burnley, Sunderland, any of these newly promoted sides, or maybe someone who would struggle, like in Everton or Wolves themselves, you'd think he'd kind of be able to play for those sides. So the fact that we've got him, even though there was interest from Sheffield United and a couple of others, really shows the intent that we have this season on getting promoted. We're going for back-to-back promotions, and that's quite clear to see by this transfer business and all of the revenue that we make commercially. So lots going on there. 2 loan signings, 2 very good loan signings, and Tommy Doyle could play for any team in the Championship. So it is a very, very big statement to be the team that managed to get him. Now, on to the free transfers. So, we'll start off Phil Newman. He is one that, although it was agreed a very long time ago, he did officially sign in 1st of July, so he is now our player. He was voted as the top centre-back or the top defender in Bundesliga 2, which is brilliant. You know, Clara came from a similar kind of team. I can't remember if Clara's team were relegated the season that we signed him. I think they might have been. But yeah, again, Phil Newman, very, very strong, very well thought of by other teams in that division. And, well, we have a brick wall there with those two, Clara and Newman as your centre-backs. Good luck to any attackers coming up against them. Brilliant signing. He's versatile. He can play right back. Not that we need him there because we've got 4 people who could play right back. And he's very quick. He's very athletic, which is nice because there were times last season where Clara's pace maybe let him down a little bit. So he'd end up having to take someone out and get a needless yellow card. Whereas if he had a little bit more pace about him, then he could have recovered a little bit better. But again, 2 of them together, I think they'll complement each other brilliantly. Very happy with that centre-back partnership. Next free transfer to speak about is the homecoming. Damari Gray, brilliant signing. So happy he's back. He's only just turned 29 last week, so these are his best years, really. And I'm not going to judge him on what he did in Saudi. I think people who are doing that a little bit, maybe they're just a little bit in denial about the fact that this is going to turn out to be a masterpiece of a signing. I'm very happy with this. He was brilliant in the Premier League at Everton. That's the main thing I kind of remember him for in recent history. That spell at Everton, that season where he was filling in because Calvert-Lewin was injured, so he tended to play centrally up front, but he could come in off the left as well. Goals against Arsenal, Man City, Man United, and they were all absolute belters. Outside the box, top corner. He was so good then, and he's took a pay cut to come here. It's his boyhood club. He's going to want us to do well, and it's not like when Troy Deeney came and joined us, for example. He was at the end of his career. He was on his last legs. He had no pace. Damari Gray is in the prime years of his career, so this is someone coming to do business and coming to improve the team massively, because the winger positions are where I think we are weakest. So getting a winger of Damari Gray's calibre in the Championship, brilliant signing. Very happy with the homecoming. Next free transfer to speak about will go for Fujimoto. Now, interesting one, not someone I've seen play. Came from Gil Vicente in Portugal and has very good numbers. I did see start of last season people were saying him. I think there was a Coventry fan that had kind of tagged him that does analysis and kind of came out and said, there's a hidden gem over there in the Portuguese league, Coventry, can you please sign him? Obviously didn't work out there, but he's came to us instead this season. And traditional attacking mid, playmaker, silky, good passer, can find the goal from outside the box. I think he's going to link up very, very well with this squad. But as you can see through the core of this squad now, there is an East Asian kind of link up. Not in defence, but from the core of midfield forward, that's what we're building. And I think it's a good market to be in, because one, from a business perspective, commercial global revenue is going to be absolutely bursting. The undefeated shops in Tokyo are going to be selling blue shirts left, right and centre. But from on the pitch as well, you can get these players for quite cheap, and they always turn out to be little hidden gems. I mean, look for example at Matoma for Brighton as a winger. No one had heard of him, and he went to Brighton, and last January, one of the teams in Saudi were after him for €95 million, and he has been brilliant in the Premier League. So There are many hidden gems in that market. Hopefully we've got one on our hands, but it's a position I think we needed to strengthen in, and I'm very happy to see how he gets on. On the list also is Taylor Gardner-Hickman, but we're not going to speak too much about him. He wasn't a free transfer, but I'm not sure why he's really there. It says he's a right back as well, but he's very versatile. We've known about that for a while, and I thought we signed him permanently in January, so not sure why that's there. The last free transfer to speak about is Bright Osei Samuel. Right back, used to be a right winger earlier in his career. I know he mentioned in his interview, but a right wing back, gives brilliant competition to Laird. Very similar sort of player in the fact that he is an athletic specimen. Like Laird last season was so vital to the way we played, because while Cochrane would sit deep and progress quite slowly up the pitch, Laird would bomb it down the right, give options for anyone who currently had the ball, and would receive it quite a lot. I remember the Allsop Laird connection was brilliant. So very, very good to have someone else there that can do that sort of role, because Laird can't last the whole match. Bright Osei Samuel has just came from Fenerbahce playing under Jose Mourinho, and again, another player. He's played in the Championship before for QPR, but he has been on the radar of a few Premier League clubs, I was hearing. So the fact that we've managed to get him, I think he's starting at right back. But again, it doesn't all fall on him. He can run his heart out, but then Laird's there to come on. So we've got that. We've basically got what we had last season, but it can last all game. It's sustainable for a whole match because of having both of them. So do not be surprised this season to see those two constantly switching. They'll be coming on for each other pretty much every game, I reckon. But it helps our system massively. So happy with that one as well. These have all been very, very good signings. Obviously, a little bit in doubt about the Beadle one because of the calibre of goalkeeper that we probably could have got. But all the other signings, very happy with. And Beadle, I'm sure he will do a brilliant job in the sticks. So they're the free transfers. The last transfer to speak about, and oh my God, when I saw this tweet come out, it's one of them, you saw the rumours, but you didn't ever want to, not that you didn't want to believe it, but you didn't ever really believe it because you thought, surely not. This isn't the Blues I know. Kyogo Furuhashi, ex-Celtic man, joined Rennes in January, didn't really get much of an opportunity there, has now came to Blues. What a signing this is. And apparently it's reported that add-ons come to about £10 million with the upfront fee plus add-ons. What those add-ons are, I'm not sure. Whether it's 5 million now, 5 million if we get promoted, there might be goal bonuses in there, blah blah blah. Who cares? I know he's a 30-year-old striker, but Celtic fans know him as the best striker since Henrik Larsson at the club. This is an elite level finisher who just last summer Man City were interested in and had a £30 million price tag, and now he's a Blues striker just because he had a tough 6 months out in France. In the Championship, signing a striker of this quality, I know who my money's going on for the Golden Boot this season. I'm very happy with this. It does make you think what's happening with Stansfield. Where's he going to fit into the side? We'll make space for him. But when you've got a player like Furuhashi, he has to start. He cannot be on the bench. So it's going to give Chris Davies a headache, but it's better than having not enough players. We've definitely got a decent amount of depth in this squad now. Yes, you probably want another right winger. We could do with a centre-back because we've got 4, but Sanderson will be off. Whether Bielik's happy with being on the bench, I don't know. So 1 or 2 centre-backs might come in depending on how many leave. A left-back, obviously having Cochrane and Buchanan. Buchanan's always injured. Maybe you say to Buchanan, thank you for your service, but we need someone who's a little bit more available. And you get rid of him and you get another left-back in who has a brilliant fitness record. But other than those few positions, I think this is such a talented, quality side that has depth. I've never seen Blues like this, and I mean, I was at the final home game of the season against Mansfield. The atmosphere there with the trophy lift and just it. I think having a year out of the Championship was a blessing in disguise for one, because it meant that our financial rules were different than if we'd have stayed in the Championship. It meant we could do more. But two, I think the Blues that left the Championship, going back to it this season, I think a lot of away fans are going to come to St Andrews and say, what the fuck is happening here? Because it's just going to be like a completely different club and a completely different show on the pitch as well. So really, really looking forward to the season ahead. Let me know who you are most excited to see out of these signings. Which positions do you think we need to strengthen? Do you agree with my couple? I mean, apparently Chris Davies has said that there will be more business, so it looks like maybe another 3 or 4 may come through the door. So who should they be? What positions? Let me know down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in as well. I know it's been a very long time. I will try to be back. What I want to try and do is get a video out each week at minimum. So I will be looking obviously at a prediction video for the league table. I'm not going to bother with like a bookies prediction video. I've seen a few creators doing it. I like the idea, but again, it's pretty easy information to get hold of. So whether people move or not doesn't really bother me. I don't really care what the bookies come out with. I'm more about where do I think people are going to finish. I think that's a little bit more interesting. So I'm not going to just get content out for the sake of it. I'm going to try and get interesting things out. And give me some suggestions. What things do you want me to look at? Do you want me to do reactions to maybe the Championship kits that have been released so far? Rank them. I can do that if you want. Let me know. I'll try and get one out. Well, I will make sure to get one out every week from now on. I'll obviously be doing score predictions as well in games. This is being recorded on Saturday the 12th of July as well. So our first pre-season game is tonight against Sevilla. Let me know your score predictions. Interesting to see how we line up. We'll probably make subs at half time, which could change the game. I'm going to go for a Blues win. I'm not going to give a score because I don't know how we're going to change things about. I think Blues could win that game. I think it's going to be a great evening in Portugal. So yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll speak to you next time.